Howdy, welcome to my YouTube channel. We are recording in the USO. Oh shoot. There we are. Better. As I said, we are recording in the USO here on Yokosuka Naval Base. It is a few hours after I got off of work. I'm just chillaxing. My newest computer just kicked the bucket. And so, quite literally, I'm working on troubleshooting and trying to get this son of a gun screen to work. Because it's the screen that doesn't work. Everything else internally works. It's just, for some odd reason, the screen went kaput. And I gotta figure out how much a new screen's gonna cost. If I can replace the screen with the factory parts that are labeled on the manufacturer's website, if the parts are even made, how expensive the parts are, and all that sort of stuff. But yes, that's not what this video is about. This video is about me and relationship issues, not necessarily in regards to getting relationships. It's to deal with the stress of how people make you feel in a relationship. So, I have had relationships with 3 different women in my life. A 4th one might be coming soon to Japan to come and date me. She's from Chicago, I think. I don't know. Either way, so my main issue with most females in the dating scene is, one, they think they're entitled to have the man pay for everything. There is a fine line between a man paying everything, all your bills and everything, and actually giving a damn about the relationship. There is a difference. Now, I won't say how much I've gone into debt for a girl, but let's just say I dug myself a hole that it's hard to get out of. I did get out of it, but it took a long time. And me and this girl ain't dating no more, but she's back in Japan. And I have no issues with her being back in Japan. What I have an issue with is if she decides to, if she decides to play with my heart and my mind, trying to take my money again. That's the only thing that concerns me about old relationships coming back to haunt you. Sometimes they'll haunt you in a way you don't really experience in a standard sense of the word. So, what is the proper way to do a relationship with me or with most guys? Well, girls, expect the man to get to get the door for you. Expect the man to pay for his half. If y'all are going shopping, the man is expected to hold your bags for you while he waits for you to go shopping. You buy your stuff, he buys his stuff. Go halvesies until y'all are in a point to where y'all are committed enough to say, hey, I'll pay for the full meal this time. Hey, I'll pay for the full meal that time. That shouldn't be up to 3 to 6 months into the relationship, not a week or two in. Okay. I fell into the trap of I met gorgeous women online, most of which wanted to date me, none of which committed to actually doing a date, and then had me pay for their time. That's what amounts to prostitution in the real world. But again, it's not prostitution if nobody gets anything out of it. That is the difference between being a prostitute and being a girlfriend. Girlfriend is supposed to mean more than being a prostitute. It's not, oh, here, I'm going to go make love to this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, make some money, boom, done. No, a relationship is supposed to mean a hell of a lot more than most people would give it credit for. Sorry for the camera being broken, or not necessarily being broken. It's a little dirty, which is why the light is off-putting in a way. I'll have to clean that better before I record another video. But my first girlfriend was in high school. My parents didn't even know about this girl. She was the mayor's daughter. Funny how that works, right? And she would get a budget from her daddy of almost $2,000 a week. $2,000 a week. No, I was making only like $700-800 a month, or a pay period. Actually, no, more like a month. She would take half my paycheck on top of her weekly allowance, just because she needed it for clothes to look pretty for me. No, you don't need to look pretty in pretty clothes for a guy to actually fall in love with you. That's rule number one. You need pretty clothes to make yourself feel better because you don't like yourself. That's the difference. Most women don't like themselves, and therefore they need pretty clothes to make themselves feel better about themselves. I mean, quite literally, I'm wearing a pair of shorts and a red polo shirt that does not really fit me very well, but it works for what I need it to work for in this video. My second girlfriend, Filipino, had to break up because of the Navy policies in regards to background checks for anyone that is not a U.S. citizen that you are dating. So if they're a foreign national, you have to, because of my clearance, I had to do a background check, and she failed in the time limit to deliver the background check paperwork back to me in order for us to continue dating. Also, my parents probably wouldn't have approved on that one. Then my third one is a seller of homes here in Japan. She's from Texas, and she was getting paid in real estate property, not in cash, and kept asking me for money, and more money, and more money, until I was $36,000 in debt. At which point, I put a stop to it. I dug myself out of debt within a month and a half, which, let's just say it's a relief, okay? It's a relief on me, it's a relief on my heart, it's a relief on my ticker. But that does not mean that I am out of debt permanently, okay? I still have to take care of, some debt. I have about $1,000 left in debt, and I am not going to go out of my way to pay for a fee that I can't afford. Okay. And so, for me, I'm tired of online dating. I'm going to refuse to do online dating ever again. I refuse to pay out to anyone who does not actually intend to meet me before paying out, because quite literally I have a lot of people that keep contacting me for money, and I don't need to be paying for services not rendered. Okay? I've done that enough with massages here in Japan that they weren't rendered. It's taken almost 6 months for me to get my payment back from that company. Again, it's a pain in the butt. And then on top of that, I lost my accounts because of how much debt I was getting myself into. In regards to my bank account was frozen by the IRS and all that sort of stuff for fraud, which I could go to jail for. Actually, I did not realize that I was down that deep in the rabbit hole. But I could go to jail for fraud. I'm not intending to. I'm not planning to, because my debt is almost fully paid off. But it's still a pain in the butt because of how tough it is here. Again, in Japan, everything's a little bit less than in the United States, but it's still somewhat of a pain in the butt, and the fact that I want everything that Japan has to offer, from adult toys to exclusive Lego sets here in Japan to every single Yu-Gi-Oh card in Japanese and English that I can get my hands on, to video games that were only released here in Japan. I'm a big physical collector of materials. And so I'm spending a lot of money on top of paying off my debts that I need to, possibly hold back on. Again, one thing that helped me get out of debt is making a list of what you actually need versus what you want, and putting in order what you want from first to last in that order, and how much it costs. That has helped me quite tremendously. Again, these are just standard issues that I've had to figure out solutions for myself. And I'm sorry if the video has been boring. I've been rambling. It has nothing to do with you. But again, I'm working on all my issues still to this day. And there's not much more I can really put forward that I haven't already talked about. So yeah, please do like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.